How's it going, guys? Cheese here at Cheese on Everything, and today's gonna be an exciting day because today I'm picking up my home away from home. So as you guys know, we love the outdoors on this channel, and I've always been envious of people like Eamon and Beck and Karen and Nate doing their van life. But financially for me, that wouldn't make sense because I would have to spend $30,000 on a Sprinter minivan and then spend another $30,000 renovating it. I was also contemplating on getting a rooftop tent, but because of Canadian winters, I would have to deal with the heating problem and I still wouldn't have a washroom. So the best option for me would be to get a trailer with everything included inside. So I decided on this, the StarCraft RB14. It's one of the smallest trailers you can get with a bathroom and a shower, full kitchen with a queen size bed that doubles as a dining table for 4, and it'll still comfortably sleep 3 people. So we've arrived at Keith Trailer Sales, and I'll let Keith himself explain everything that's on this trailer because he's the professional and he knows this trailer much better than I do, and he'll answer a lot of the common questions regarding buying a trailer, period.
Okay, so we'll just jump right into it. Propane tank on your trailer provides heat for the furnace.
Yeah.
It also provides heat for the water heater. We'll also run your refrigerator, but it does require 12 volt, which is your battery system. So there's 2 electrical systems, 12 volt and then your shore power or AC power. The battery and the propane will run everything in the trailer except for the microwave, the outlets, and the refrigerator on electricity.
Okay.
Okay, or the air conditioner.
The refrigerator actually runs on propane?
Straight propane, and it just requires 12 volt to run. That's what you're going to run it on when you're dry camping.
Okay.
And it uses next to no propane. It's like a flame like this big.
Yeah.
So it barely uses any propane, but the heat goes up and then it goes through the coils. It's magic, I call it. Yeah. So propane tank is full. You also have a jack that raises and lowers with power, but in order for that to work, you have to have power, your battery hooked up. Okay. Stabilize your jacks on all 4 corners. So the trailer will move around a fair bit, like when we're in there, it'll bounce around, but when the jacks are down, they will provide you with stability. So I'll grab the crank handle. So the trick with these is, you'll notice they're fairly light metal. The less distance they travel, the more stability they provide.
Okay.
So if they have to reach all the way to the ground, they're not going to provide much stability.
Okay.
They do not level the trailer, they just provide their stabilizer jacks.
Okay.
To level your trailer side to side, you're going to put wood underneath one of the tires.
Okay.
Okay, so you always want to have a couple lengths of like a 2x8 or 2x8 because it's nice and wide. It's easy to get on, and then some deck boards because they're 1 inch tall.
I saw a lot of people get those Lego block thingies.
It's called Lynx levelers. I was going to say yours is a single axle, so Lynx levelers are a good option.
Okay.
Because on regular trailers, you got to have
4
so
wheels.
many of them. You need a lot to put. You need a lot to put them on. All right, then there's actually just a little up in here. There's actually a spot. It's about $100 sewer hose.
Nice.
With all the attachments never open, and you also got an extension cord.
Sweet.
And then your starter kit with this comes with a basic sewer hose.
Yeah.
I showed you this the other day. Basic sewer hose, power adapter to go from 30 amps down to 15, white water drinking hose, wash and wax, and some RV toilet paper.
Nice.
Your first, like your standard thing for a boat. Like you got that, you carry that with you and all that.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, you're gonna want it. Like in reality, that nice sewer hose is great to have.
Yeah.
Because it's a better quality. It's got all the fittings on it. The problem on a trailer this size is you start losing space to put stuff. Now it can fit in the back bumper, but because it already has all of the attachments, so it's not like this can come off. But this hose with all of the fittings and everything can fit in your back bumper.
So is this the only two storage areas?
Here and well,
that back bumper.
And the back bumper for that, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like at a trailer this size, you don't have a lot of storage from the outside.
Yeah.
It's typically from the inside, you gotta lift stuff up. The water heater right now has no water in it. I'm gonna show you that it lights and powers up like it's supposed to. The plug for the water heater is here. So when you go to dewinterize the trailer, you're going to put this plug in with a little bit of plumber's tape and just put it in right there.
Okay.
Okay, this is self-lighting, self-regulating. Touch a button, it lights. In order for this to work, you need propane and you need 12 volts, so a battery. Those are the two things you need to make this work.
Okay.
Okay, and the switch is on the inside, and I'll show you that when we go inside.
All right.
So it's the same as the fridge.
Yeah.
Those two to work.
If you're dry camping, yeah. So I'll just kind of, I'll go to the water system next. So there's two ways of running your water system. So you pull into a campground, fully serviced, you're gonna hook up to a hose. The pressure from that hose provides pressure to the whole trailer, and you'd have to do nothing. Okay, just hook up and you're done.
Yeah.
Your scenario, dry camping, Crown Land, you're gonna fill this tank up here by putting a hose in, filling it till it spills out the side. When this is full, you just cap it. And then from the inside of the trailer, you're gonna turn on the water pump. Okay. It will draw from this, essentially this is a well. Yeah. It'll draw from that well and it will pressurize everything. And then once it's fully pressurized, it'll shut on and off. And it will provide pressure as you need it. So you turn it, you open a faucet, release pressure, the pump will kick on and you'll hear it cycling. Yeah. Okay. This is to drain your freshwater tank. Those two red and blue lines over there, that is to drain your water lines. That's the lowest point of all of your water lines. Okay. So for when you want to empty it out, like it's getting close to shoulder season, and let's say you can't necessarily winterize, or you know it's going to get real cold overnight, you can just pull those, leave all your taps open, and then you have air going through the water lines, and then that will prevent any freeze ups. So if you just, let's say you go camping on Thanksgiving weekend, and then all of a sudden a cold spell comes in and it's going to go to -20. Yeah. Get the water out of the trailer. Okay. Over before it happens, and you won't have any problems.
But if you're like inside with heat on, it doesn't matter.
It wouldn't really necessarily matter because there's not much exposed underneath the trailer. Yeah. The freshwater holding tank is below the trailer. Yeah. So I mean, you're kind of running a risk there. But the volume of water, you know, sometimes it takes a couple days for a small pond to freeze. Yeah. So just be considerate of that fact. Okay. Okay. Your holding tanks are underneath the trailer and they are exposed, but typically it doesn't take much to thaw it. You run some hot water down your drains. Yeah. Then it'll thaw everything out. Okay.
Are there covers for that you can buy? Like
there are, but they don't do what people think. Oh. Like the only thing you're really protecting against, it's called like an enclosed underbelly. Yeah. A lot of bigger trailers have them, but the enclosed underbelly is corrugated plastic with no R value whatsoever. Yeah. Yeah. So that corrugated plastic is more to prevent, say, your road debris. Rust. You're driving driving down the road and say a piece of metal bounces off like a muffler or something. Yeah. That'll prevent that from hitting your tanks and bounce it down. A lot of the manufacturers use that saying you've got a polar package when really it's not much more than a glorified piece of paper underneath there.
Yeah. Okay, I get you. Yeah. Okay. Just a question.
Of course, no, but I mean, if you really wanted to and you were handy enough, you if you put some like sheet metal underneath there, or even the corrugated plastic, and then put some R-foil insulation you could self-insulate the underside of your trailer just by going across to the frame rails and using some self-tapping screws going up.
I might do that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I mean, if you can get access to a hoist, it'll make your life a lot easier. So refrigerator access is, sorry, I'll skip this. Your trailer is designed to run on a 30 amp plug, okay? So in that starter kit, I provide an adapter to go from 30 down to 15 so you can plug in to the fridge.
That's what that is.
I unplugged and it went right over to propane. That sparker is using 12 volt out of the battery. And it's
good. Spark.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Should light in a second, unless you turn the tank off. I'm just going to double check the tank got left on.
Oh, there it goes.
You just lit?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was almost closed. Yeah. So, and another pointer I'll give you, I kind of jumped at that. The propane tank, even with a barbecue or any type of thing that uses a propane tank, when you turn a tank on, you turn that first quarter turn as slow as possible. Okay. So people don't realize that in a barbecue, in a propane tank, there's a backflow prevention valve built in. So if you turn it real quick, it thinks that it's leaking, so it shuts it cuts your pressure out of the tank by like down to a third. Okay. So if you ever had a barbecue that just didn't cook right, yeah, like it's because you opened the tank too quick.
Oh, okay.
So if you do that with this, what will happen is the fridge won't run right, the furnace will not light, and your water heater won't light.
Okay.
And then you'll be panicking, you'll go, what's going on? First thing you call me, I'll say, can you go turn your propane tank off? And you'll say, why? And I'll say because I believe you turned your tank on too quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just do like a quarter turn or something?
Quarter turn real slow, and then once you'll hear the propane go,
yeah.
And then once that's done, then you can open it real quick.
Okay, cool.
And that's all tanks?
All propane tanks, everything. They
I did not know that at all.
Valve built right into it. It's something a lot of people don't know because I have friends that have thrown barbecues away to the curb, like newer barbecues. Plug it back in, it switches right to electricity.
Sweet. Wow.
And that cord is what's inside.
This cord here is roughly 20 to 25 feet. I say 20 to 25 because the manufacturers, they cut them whatever length they feel. But you have 20 some odd feet, and then that cord, the extension cord, is another 20, 25 feet.
Do you lose power as it gets longer?
Not with this gauge of wire.
No.
Not so much.
Yeah.
So this is like a washing machine type plug, no?
Washing machines run on 240 volts. This is a regular 120 volt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The prongs just seem similar.
It's very similar. Yeah, it is like a dryer plug, but it is not. Do never plug into 240 volts because you'll lose your microwave. You'll lose all your electronic board. It's not fun.
Right.
Refrigerator access here is for service. So if you feel up in here right now, there's some heat coming out of here.
All right.
So the heat is, the fridge is working, right? So it exhausts the heat out here. This is just access for service. You never have to go in here.
That's a Domatic one too.
Yeah, if the fridge fails, we'll go in here and this is how we access the back of it. If it's bad enough we have to, we pull the fridge out to fix it, but that's the last possible scenario. Outside shower provides you hot and cold water outside of the trailer. The benefit of this is that if your gray tank is full and you're in an area where you're not able to empty the gray tank, you can quickly wash your hair, rinse off outside. If you're in a campground, and that's the case, and the showers are plugged up, just bathe in suit and just go to town.
Yeah.
Gray tank is which? The ones that you said you could drain from out here?
So that tank is, there's 3 tanks on this trailer. There's the black tank, which is your sewage. There's your gray tank, which is your wastewater from your kitchen sink, bathroom, and your shower. And then there's your fresh tank. Fresh tank is your water reserve, okay? Furnace exhaust is here, so when the furnace is running, it exhausts heat out here. Air conditioning, this is where it draws air from. Again, also the heat comes out there. And then this is your range hood vent for your stove. So whenever you're cooking in the trailer, if you are cooking in the trailer, what you want to do is come outside and pop these tabs right here. So that when you travel, you want these put in place so that there's no airflow into here, and also when you're kind of parked or it's sitting stationary, there's no bugs going up in here. Just whenever you're using the range hood fan, make sure that's open, it'll vent out right to the outside.
Nice.
Otherwise, if that's closed, it's just going to circulate it in the trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
If you decide to get a satellite dish, there's your hook up there.
Is that how we live in?
Yeah, right? And then, so back to your question about your holding tanks, black holding tank, gray holding tank, and everything comes out of the same spout, but every sewer hose, either in the starter kit or that one that came with the trailer, they fit on the same. Sewer cap twists off, sewer hose twists on, and usually, typically, wherever you're dumping, there's going to be a cement basin that feeds into a septic tank. So the hose would then drop into there. It would be, you'd take the cap off, sewer hose goes on, this goes into the ground, and then you would pull the black tank straight out first. Let that drain out completely, close it, pull the gray valve, let it drain out completely, and then close it. So when you go to dewinterize, it's a pretty easy process. If you can, get to a place where you can hook up to a hose, hook up to the city water right here, open the cap up, open your gray valve, and run all of your faucets.
And it'll just
let it run through till you see nothing but clear water coming out, and it's clear coming out of here, and then it's ready to go. I'll show you inside, but right now the water heater is bypassed, okay? So if you picture the water heater as, so say this is the back of the water heater. Cold water goes in the bottom, hot water goes out the top when it's heated. So in between the cold and the hot line, there's a bypass, which is now bypassed. So the water goes here, up, and around.
Okay.
So the cold is now, the cold lines meet the hot water lines. The water heater has nothing going in it or out of it. So what you want to do is flush all the antifreeze out first,
and then open
then
those.
put the plug back in, and then open those up.
And then close the middle one.
Close the middle, yeah. You're already catching on. A lot of people don't realize that. So you just reverse all the valves.
Yeah.
Then the cold fills up, you'll hear it filling the tank, and then you just have to get the air out of the tank after a little bit. That's how you drain your tanks. Now, a pointer for keeping your black tank in good repair. When the tank is empty is the best time to add a treatment. So typically what I would suggest is add like a gallon of water, or maybe like 2 or 3 liters of water, and then add a toilet treatment into the black tank after it's empty. Because now you're gonna drive with it empty, If there's water sloshing around and the treatment's going on, it's going to clean your tank.
Oh, okay.
It's going to hit all the walls, it's going to clean it up, it's going to get rid of any bacteria on the walls, and it's going to pull it all down to the bottom where it'll eat away at it. The enzyme eats away at all the bacteria. You will end up with a very clean black holding tank, and that's something a lot of people make the mistake of not treating it right, and then you start getting odors and smells and stuff. When you do that, that is the best time to add the treatment, because adding a treatment when the tank is full does nothing.
Yeah,
I shouldn't say it does nothing. It does very minimal, because it doesn't have a chance to break all of the stuff down, the bacteria. So now, as you use the toilet and it's dropping into this product, it's helping it. Now, what I would do at my trailer is that when I empty it, I add some water, and then I let it sit. Just before I use it again, I'll throw another one in. Activates it again. You've already got water in there. Add one more treatment, and then as you use it, it breaks everything down.
So it'll be like another toilet bowl kind of.
Yeah. So you can buy them in like Tide Pod type things, and you just toss them in. They're metered out. Just toss them in.
Okay.
I mean, some people get cheap with that stuff, but I mean, you don't want a smelly trailer. Nobody wants a smelly trailer.
It's a solar panel thing.
Yeah.
Because I saw there's like soft solar panels now.
Yes.
So I don't have to drill. I just have to glue on top.
Yeah.
And then, I'll probably have to find a place to feed that wire down.
You can feed the wire down
through the satellite or something.
Through the satellite, probably through the satellite would be your best thing, yeah.
And then get like one of those Renogy inverters and hook it up to the fuse box.
Fully set up, so awning.
Yes, the best part of the trailer.
So there is one more thing I didn't show you when you were here looking at it the other day. So awnings are great. But if it does start to rain and the awning is straight out like it's going to be in a second, these become pools for water, and the mess that it makes when the water collapses one of these is awful. Yeah. So I'll show you what to do in the event. So the door being on this side, right here, pitches the water off.
Oh, okay.
Very, very important, because it doesn't take much of a big downpour will rip this right off the trailer. And it's $3,000 to fix all the damage. Yeah. So again, I will give you a pointer on electric awnings are very convenient. However, the only thing holding them like tension wise is the shock gas strut. Yeah. So it doesn't take a lot of wind force with the sail to bounce it around. If it gets really windy, put it away. Save yourself the heartache. Or what you can buy is not ratchet straps, but the pull tight ones. Yeah. They have like a little, you push in and you can pull it tight. Hook into here, buy a few corkscrews for the ground, and you just want a little bit of tension. You do not want to pull it down, just a little tension in the event that the wind gets up underneath it and tries to lift it up and up. Okay. But ideally, because it's a power awning and the expense of it and the cost of repair damages, if it gets really bad, put it away. Pitch it. So if I put the pitch down, now you see the angle the awning's on? So before you put it back up, you want to just kind of get it fairly straight. And you can do this side as well too.
It's just that the door's in the way.
The door's over here, so you want the water running away from you.
Cool.
Oh, and one other thing funny about these awnings is there's no end stop. So if you keep holding extend, it will actually bring the awning back in going the wrong way. And then what it does is it makes a pocket for water to sit on the top. So if your awning is white when it's closed, it's in the wrong spot.
So then you have to re-extend it.
Then you
all the way.
Yeah, you extend it all the way out again. You have to retract it all the way out to bring it back in.
I get you.
That's the party piece right there.
So 2 burners. They both burn at the same BTU, so it wouldn't matter which one you're using. Ideally, you'd use the front one. Range hood, light, and fan. So you want to make sure that vent is open on the outside. The levels gauge here tells you the levels of your battery, your fresh tank, your black tank, and your gray tank. So battery will always show, you can see here it goes L, F, G, and C for the battery. C means charging. So when you're plugged into electricity, it's always going to be charging the battery. Fresh tank shows 1/3. We have a bit of antifreeze in there, typically for going into winter. Gray tank and black tank are all empty. Air conditioner is really straightforward. This is just like at home. Well, I mean, if you're window rattlers. So you can hear it clunk on, that's the compressor. The benefit of this is for 5,000 BTUs in a space like this, it'll freeze you out. It'll make this like a meat locker. But you only need a small 2,000 watt generator to run this. I was saying that to you, you don't need a big generator. Typically with the roof air conditioners, you would require a minimum of 3,500 watts, and you can't get small 3,500 watts. They're typically this size.
Yeah.
They're bulky, they're tough to carry around, they burn through a lot of fuel. A 2,200 watt Briggs or Honda is light, it's maneuverable, and it's quiet.
Yeah.
So I'll give this a minute, let it cool down.
Does that only run on electricity, I'm guessing?
Only on electricity, yeah. And I don't think you're going to get an inverter system to run an air conditioner is very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at the 2,000 watt. Is that enough for
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this here is the water pump switch. So it's dry. So that sound that you're hearing, you would hear go on and off as it was pressurizing the water lines.
Yeah.
So, but if you're hooked up to a city water connection, like a city water source, you would have no problems with that. Okay. You wouldn't hear any water pump, but you're going to be dry camping a lot, so you're going to hear this, and it's just, it goes on and off as it needs pressure.
Yeah, whenever you use it, right, pretty much.
Water heater, so I'm going to turn this on. When this, see this light right here, DSI FLT?
Yeah.
When that light goes out, it means the water heater's lit.
Okay.
So you can hear it running right now.
Yeah, yeah.
If for whatever reason the water heater doesn't light and you see this light come back on, 99 times out of 100 you're out of propane, you didn't turn your tank on, or there's an air pocket in the line.
Okay.
Okay, if you see that light, what I want you to do is turn the water heater off, light the stove, make sure you got good propane going, and then turn it back on.
Okay.
So if you see that light 10 times in a row, call me.
Okay.
Yeah, just try to make sure the gas is running, because sometimes what can happen is you get a big air pocket and it takes a few times to purge through.
Okay.
And by running the stove, it's going to help that purge.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Small trailer, not far to travel. I don't expect you'll see this often, but like on a 35-foot trailer where the gas line runs the whole length of the trailer, you see that quite regularly.
Okay.
Literally, the propane tank is right there.
Yeah.
It's not having to travel very far. So your fridge is very, very simple. You have two buttons, on or off, automatic or gas. Right now I have it set to automatic, and you heard it switched over to gas. So, but if I wanted to run just gas, I push this button out, and it'll switch over. But again, you never have to take it off automatic, ever.
Yeah, because it will know.
Yeah, the only reason they have that button is for people who are in parks, who are always plugged in.
Yeah.
They say test it every month.
Oh.
To make sure, because when you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Like, things stop working when you don't use them. Yeah. So if for whatever reason the gas does not light, this check light comes on, just like the water heater. If you see a check light, 99 times out of 100, you're out of propane, didn't turn the tank on, or there's an air pocket in the line. Okay. So again, turn the fridge off, light the stove, propane's good, then you light it again. And if you see this check light 10 times in a row, call me.
Okay.
All right? And I'm going to shut the water heater off now just because it's been running for a little bit. The TV antenna, it's omnidirectional, so it doesn't need to be adjusted or anything. If you're putting a television here and you're plugged into here, if you want to run the TV antenna, you have to push this button in. That provides you with a boost the signal from the TV antenna down to the television.
Okay.
And then these AV cables are from here, the Furrion DVD player.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many people got DVDs anymore, but I do believe you can put a USB stick in here as well.
Nice.
You can look up what's compatible with it, but hooking up a USB stick to this, you got a couple hundred movies easy.
Nice.
Legally obtained movies.
And these are speakers outside here?
Yes, yeah. So okay. I'll turn this on. I don't know how much reception we get in here in the building, but
is there a radio?
Radio, yeah. It's also I believe you can set up Bluetooth. The thermostat's really simple. It's a mechanical thermostat, so that if it does happen to fail, you can actually physically take it out and tape it together to get heat if you're in a jam. To turn the thermostat on or off, there's a switch on the top. So this turns the thermostat on, and then we slide till we hear it click.
Oh.
Again, size of trailer, size of furnace, this will make this into a sweat lodge in here. So this is a direct vent, so if you want to aim it more over towards your bed, you just rotate this way. Okay. If you want it to go up and down, you aim it this way.
Sweet.
And it's quiet too.
Yeah, it's not bad. And the vent?
So roof vent, just cranks up, cranks down.
And if I were to want to put a max fan on there?
Absolutely could do. We would have to draw power from, I believe there's a wire that'll run from up here to here. So we just have to catch 12 volt from somewhere in the ceiling. Yeah. And then you can put a max fan on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, for what you're doing, putting a max air on there. If you ever want to come back and do that, we can arrange that, or if you want to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But you can get the covers by the ones that already have the cover built in.
Yeah.
This way you don't have to worry about it raining.
Yeah.
And then these work great too on if you're somewhere where you don't have power, you can draw the heat out of the trailer at night. You know, 35 degree.
Yeah.
Take that humidity out of here.
Like the trailer weight was like max 500 pounds.
Oh, for cargo carrying capacity.
Yeah.
So it should be it's a 3,500 pound axle, and the dry weight's 2,450.
Yeah.
You should have more capacity than that.
Okay.
I just have to pull it up, but I think it says on the sticker there what your cargo carrying capacity is.
Oh, 730 pounds.
Yeah, so that's the weight of the cargo should never exceed, and that also factors in your load of water as well. So with a full load of water plus your cargo should never, so 267 pounds of water would be, that doesn't affect your cargo carrying capacity.
Okay.
So 730 pounds of stuff you can put inside the trailer. If you're carrying that much stuff though, man, that's a lot.
No, I'm just wondering if you're stationary.
Yes.
And say you have like four people in there.
Oh,
is that...
God, no, that doesn't. No, it
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
affect. No. It means for travel because of the axle. Yeah.
Okay.
The axle.
So once you have the stabilizer bars in there, then
no. Wait. It's just to travel down the road with safely. 3,500 pound axle can carry the weight of the trailer plus the water plus the cargo up to 3,500 pounds.
Okay.
Now come inside and feel how warm this is with the door open.
Yeah, it's already warm.
That's so hot. That's 2 minutes.
Yeah.
That's 2 minutes.
Bro.
That's crazy.
Like towels, you got to get towels and just sweat box.
I know, like you have this running for 10 minutes. Like the thermostat will shut it off shortly based on the temperature setting. But
that's insane.
yeah, so
like
you're used to temping in cold temperatures.
Yeah, we were just out there last week and it was like freezing cold.
Yeah, I know. And you're thinking, man, I wish you could have got this ready for last weekend. It's like my bones still hurting.
Anything in the washroom?
So washroom, the toilet is a little different. So I gotta watch because we don't have the jacks down. I don't want to put too much weight down. But when you're flushing, you're gonna push this straight down. I don't want to take the antifreeze out. But when you're going to do your business, it actually says it right in here. You push it part way down, and that fills the bowl with water. Do your business, and then push it all the way down. Gravity feeds it down. This is not one of those toilets where you got to plunge. You never use a plunger in a trailer. Okay. But it's gravity that pushes it down. There's even some extra toilet treatments. The previous lady left them all that stuff in here, so you get a bunch of it.
So I'm guessing you just keep flushing or like holding it and flush it a couple times.
Or if you got a jug, you can kind of meter what you're doing, but just to hold it down for a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, that's the toilet. I like leaving antifreeze in the bowl because it keeps the seals lubricated over winter.
Okay. And you need the water pump to run that too, I'm guessing?
No. So yes, you would. Yeah. So what you would do with if you're camping where you have water in the fresh tank, you're dry camping, the pump would be on. It would provide pressure to the sink, the shower, and the toilet. Okay. Okay. If you're at a campground and you're hooked up to a hose, that pressure does everything.
Okay. Sweet.
That hose is provided, or is that something that you got to bring yourself?
No, there's a hose right in there.
That's the hose.
Yeah.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it's just a regular, it's not a garden hose because garden hoses give off chemicals. It's a white water hose. So it's a white hose that doesn't have any chemicals on it. Oh, one other thing. If your outlets outside or in the trailer aren't working, they're all connected to the GFI. Okay. This GFI, so if this trips, then your plugs won't work. Okay. So you just reset that.
So that's like a fuse.
Yeah, it's a ground fault. Like they have them in bathrooms and stuff or around kitchens.
What about the fuse? Like the fuse for the...
That was my last thing to show you. Yeah. So fuses and breakers are all in here. Typically, you don't have to go in here, but this is your...
I think I'm gonna have to.
Why is that?
Would I do the solar, right?
No, you really should. Yeah, you're gonna have to. I think if you're gonna plug into the direct source of this, because this feeds the trailer, you would be pulling this out to do that. You pull the whole thing out, and then you'd be attaching, solar controller, and then into the feed. Take out the converter. This is a converter charger all in one. Oh, okay. This is the distribution and converter all in one. Wiring diagrams on the back here. So yeah, you just have to research what your panel, what your solar charge controller asks you to do, and then your feed would be in here. They may ask you to run it to the battery or down towards the fuse block on the battery. Yeah. I was just looking up all the diagrams to do that myself. Well, like I said, if you wanted to just immediately make it easy on yourself, buy the portable kit, and then you're done with it, sell it for $200.
Yeah.
Then you're good right away. You don't have to do any installs. Don't worry about it for the winter time.
Yeah.
The solar kit, because for the amount of power that this thing uses and what you'd be using it for if you're camping through the winter, LED lights, the biggest draw is your furnace.
Yeah.
That's the biggest draw. The lithium battery would definitely give you plenty of draw for a night, and then a solar would charge that battery up through the day.
Yeah. Should be pretty good.
Just like I said, just to start off, instead of having to immediately start adding stuff to the roof, you could easily just do this with a portable kit.
And the lights, I noticed last time, it only turned this one off.
Yeah, so that's for outside.
Okay.
Yeah, turn that one back on. That one. So that turns this guy on.
So
they're all individually switched. So there's one right here as well that should be controlled by that. So, yeah.
Okay.
And then this one here turns the outside light off. Outside.
Where's that? Oh, okay. Cool. I didn't even notice the speakers outside last time.
Yeah.
Right.
And then individually lights. Individually switched lights.
So are all those only manual then?
Everything else except for the two on these two here are manual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna shut the fridge off.
Yeah.
And then what I'm gonna do is prop the door open, just like this, so that air can get to it, so it doesn't get moldy, because it was cold, and as it not defrost really, but more, I don't want any moisture to get moldy in there, so it allows air through.
Okay.
I'm gonna close this.
And in terms of like once I want to tow, just make sure everything's locked.
Yeah, just secure, doors closed.
Jacks up.
And now, because it's small single axles, I do typically recommend to lock the deadbolt, just in case it twists or you hit a good bounce, doesn't pop the door open, and people start honking at you. They do make trailers. They call it the Rocky Mountain package. They have a fender flare, and they put on wider, bigger profile tires. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you wanted to maybe get some matching rims, you could do that.
I don't really care about it's just where we go for crown. The rocks are pretty sizable.
Yeah.
Like maybe that. So I don't know if the tire's gonna should be okay. I mean, it's not a heavy trailer.
Just as long as you take your time, like nice and slow.
Yeah.
It's always, do you overinflate or do you underinflate?
Yeah.
That's a hard, tough question.
They were saying underinflate just 10 from the max. So when you heat up, then
that's what I always tell people too. Yeah.
So there's no problems with leaking or anything like that on the roof?
We've already done all so any trailer comes in, we do a full front to back check of the roof. Any preventative maintenance that needs done, that I typically tell people to do, I've done myself.
Oh, nice.
So really what you need to look for in terms of preventative maintenance is when you pull through a very wooded area and there's some low-lying trees, just assume that you might have cut the roof. Just assume that every time. And take the time, climb up on the back of your truck, have a quick look, and if something looks off, I mean, the worst thing to find out is when you see water leaking inside your trailer, it's been leaking for like 3 or 4 months. Yeah. And it's done a lot of damage already. So diligence in inspection will prevent you from having to spend a lot of money. You can buy, it's called the Thermobond, it's emergency roof repair tape, and buy an extendable ladder, because if you're going somewhere and you're off in the beaten path and you can't get supplies, I don't really want you applying duct tape to the roof unless you absolutely have to. Yeah. So these are all things to have on your trips.
Does that do any damage, like duct tape to the roof?
Not really, but it's not good for it.
Oh, okay.
But in a pinch, you use it. A proper repair is using a Thermobond. That's what we would do in our shop. Okay. If you cut your roof, all we can do is put a Thermobond on. This is the roof material. Okay. Where you would get your leaks is going to be here. So you see no visible cracking. It's dirty, but that's no problem. Yeah. If you start to see visible cracking anywhere on any of these pieces, then you would do the preventative maintenance.
Is that where it joins?
It's where you have cutouts. So anywhere there's a cutout in the membrane is where you would typically do your preventative maintenance.
So that's the seals.
Yeah, all the and it's very easy to do. You look it up on YouTube. It's not hard to do. Yeah. And all you do is clean off the old stuff. Clean off the old stuff with brake cleaner, and then apply new stuff on top. Okay. If you need power in the trailer and it's dark and you haven't been getting any solar, plug in your truck and run it for a bit. The truck will charge the battery.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the moment we plug this in, these connect.
What? Power. Nice.
So in a pinch, you always have power.
You can replace the tank, can you, with a larger one?
You can put a 30 on, yeah. The reason why a lot of people would stick with the singles is you can get them exchanged anywhere.
True.
30s, there's less and less places filling propane now because of liability.
Yeah.
That's why you see gas stations, like they get
just
bought
have
up,
the-
they just take it out. They don't want to, you have to pay, they have to go through a course in order to fill them, and they need to up their insurance, so let's cut cost.
For sure.
These exchanges, no, they're not liable for anything.
Yeah.
Well, the gas stations aren't really gas stations anymore. You know what I mean? You used to have the mechanics.
No.
You know, this, that.
No,
now
no,
it's
no one even comes out to see you.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut the propane off, speaking of that.
Closing it, you don't have to do anything.
No,
special.
just close it as quickly as you have to. If the trailer detaches from here, the reason I run it around here is so that I can kind of take up some space. So if this was to pull, it would pull this straight out. See that? So it'll pull straight out, and then that would actually activate the brakes on the trailer. Has to be on there by law. So what I'll typically do is I'll wrap this around to take up some of the length. Just in the event that the trailer disconnects and then it passes the chains, then it would pull that.
So 3 different measures, really.
Yeah, personally, I don't want any brakes plying. People can't pay attention when the brake lights are on.
Yeah.
Unless roll, it should roll to a stop. It would be ideal.
All right, so that was all the information you pretty much need to buy a trailer. Hope that wasn't too long, but really excited to go on adventures with that. It's going to be an awesome freaking winter.